Hi guys, as many of you know, DJI came out with this clever little adapter right here. So you can take the wireless mic from DJI, the wireless mic 2, put that on right here, and then just stick it in to your Sony hot shoe. Now it is connected. No cables, no wires. Now the DJI wireless is truly wireless. I've been using the heck out of this. I love it so much. But Godox, they actually contacted me and they said, did you know that we also have a microphone that goes into the Sony hot shoe with no wires? And I said, well, I do now, so we should talk about it. Now, I am absolutely loving the trend of other manufacturers being able to use the Sony multi-interface hot shoe to connect peripherals. So clever here with the DJI wireless mic 2, because if you already have that mic for just about $35, you can get this little adapter and now you can go cordless and you don't lose any sound quality. I love it very much. But like I said, I was surprised to find out that Godox had a multi-interface hot shoe mic as well for the Sony camera. This is the wec-s, S for Sony. They also sell the wec, the regular, but this one has an extra little hot shoe attachment right here. See, can you see it right there? That just slides in to your Sony camera and you are ready to go. You can also use this microphone with any other camera because it comes with a 3.5mm cable, so you can connect it as per usual. In fact, if you don't want to use the digital signal coming from this guy right here, you can connect it analog, we'll talk about that in a second, to your Sony camera. Now, Godox is sponsoring this video because they want the word out, and rightfully so, that they have a little microphone that connects to the hot shoe on your Sony cameras without any cables. But of course, you can't consider this a review because I am being paid. However, I will still give you the pros and cons of this little device, and I will do a sound quality test against the DJI Mic 2 and also this one right here, the Hollyland Lark M2, which is one of my favorite little lavalier microphones. So let's talk about what you get if you get the full package like I have right here. You have this nice little semi-hard shell carrying case. I really like the Godox carrying cases. They are just perfectly sized and they can fit all of your accessories in here. And there are a nice few accessories. There are 3 different wind muffs. And the reason that there are 3 different wind muffs is because there are 3 microphones, the 2 lavalier microphones, but also the back of the receiver is another microphone. And that is very clever because let's say you are filming something and you want to talk while you're behind the camera. You can just turn on that microphone right there with a little switch on the side, and then you get the audio, your dulcet tones coming right into the back of the camera. Great idea. And in the package, we also have a USB-A to USB-C for charging. We have a 3.5mm cable that can go directly to your camera and a 3.5mm cable that can go into a smartphone or a tablet. Next to the receiver mic switch is the digital versus analog switch. So if you're going to use it without any cables, you switch it into the digital. If you want to actually run the 3.5mm cable, switch it to analog and then plug it in the traditional way. Now, when you are using the digital, as in the no wired solution, then you are going to have to manipulate your volume with the receiver itself. Everything on your camera will be grayed out. It will all be overridden, so you have to control your volume. It has 3 settings. It has low, medium, and high. The default is medium when it comes out of the box, and that has been working just fine for me. And you can control the volume with these buttons over here, the plus and minus. The minus button is also the mode switch button, which you can go from mono to stereo. It doesn't have a safety track or any form of internal recording, of course. Stereo will separate the left and right channel, which is great if you have a couple of people speaking at different volumes. The plus button also doubles as a linking button in case you need to relink your receiver to your transmitters. Then you have a power button, just on off. You can hold it down and it will power off. And then you have a little 3.5mm jack if you want to use your analog cord. You also have a little USB-C port, and that is for charging as well as being wired into a computer if you wanted to use this as a digital interface for your computer. And of course, the big newsworthy item are the connectors on the bottom that go right into your Sony hot shoe. Now, something I really like about this receiver is it has this little button on the back so that when you are putting in the receiver to the hot shoe, can you see that little button right there? And you click it in, it makes that little click sound. And when you want to take it out, you have to press that button to get it out. That way, I know for sure I am connected to the hot shoe. The one for the DJI, it doesn't have a button, so you just push it in, but there's no real thing to tell you for sure that you have connected it. I mean, you can see it on the DJI screen, but you can't feel it or hear it. And then to take it off, you just slip it out. You don't press another button. So I prefer to have that locking mechanism of the Godox. The two little transmitters are very lightweight. They have a USB-C port on the bottom, so you can charge them individually if you want, or you can just charge them in their charging case like I like to do. However, you can use the USB-C cord and tether it straight to your phone or an iPad, anything that has a USB-C. Then you can start using one of these little microphones just corded right through to one of your devices. The orange button on the side is for relinking, and it's also for dynamic noise reduction. When you press it once, you get a little amber light. And when you press it again, then you go back to green, and green means go. That is the regular form. I personally don't love to have sound canceling on my microphones. I don't usually use it, but we will do a test of it to see what you think. We have the on-off button, and we attach the microphones by using the little clothespin-like clip there. Now, here's the thing. This is one of the drawbacks for me, is that you really just have to clip this to something. There's no way to put a magnet on this, and I like to often just put something inside my shirt, and then I put the magnet on the outside. So Godox, if you are listening, and why wouldn't you be listening, please make this part metal so I can buy a magnet myself or put it in with the package. That'd be even better. But if this was metal, I would get a little magnet, and then I'd be able to put it under my shirt and make it more discreet. I like that. Now, if you have neither mic right now, the major advantage for the Godox is the price. This is $139, and that is with all the accoutrements, whereas the DJI comes in at $349 plus the cost of the wireless adapter. So you're talking about $384, $385 compared to $139. However, you do get a lot more with the DJI wireless mic too. These transmitters, they have internal recording, and that can save a shoot. And the internal recording is actually 32-bit float. So unless you peak them at the mic level, you're going to be able to save any audio that you are recording. Also, these transmitters have a 3.5 millimeter hole there, so you can plug in a lavalier microphone to keep them nice and discreet. Not to mention, you can also use the magnet here. So if you wanted to just put it under your shirt and then put the magnet on right there, it is more discreet, except you can see that I have a little bump there. Looks like I have a weird chest, but still pretty discreet. You also have this nice touch screen here on the unit, very responsive, plus you can see all of your settings with that little LCD screen, plus it has a safety track to go along with all of the other features. Whereas with the Godox, you don't have any form of internal recording, and you also have to find a place to clip it to your clothing because you can't use a 3.5 millimeter lavalier, and it has no kind of magnet or anywhere else. So you just have to find a nice place to clip it. And like I said, I can't clip it on the inside, or at least I can't figure out a way to do it. So if you're going to go out in the world, you're going to need a furry little wind muff, and then your unit becomes a whole lot less discreet when you're walking around. But that may not bother you. You may just want a microphone for your vlogging, for your day-to-day activities, and it is a whole lot cheaper, and you can just stick it right to your Sony camera without any of the wires or the cables. But what about the sound quality? That is the most important thing when you think about it. So let's go check the sound quality of the Godox. So here is a little sound quality test of the Godox wec-s. I have it pinned right here to my muscular chest, and I have it put on my ZV-E10 Mark II. Mark, named after me, of course. So this is the type of quality that you can expect if you were as handsome as me out in the world, talking your nonsense, making your neighbors think you're weird because you're holding a camera in front of your face. What do you think? I think it sounds pretty good. So I'm sitting next to a rumbly air conditioner. You can hear it right now. So I'm going to press the noise canceling and see if that improves things. The noise canceling is now on. Does it improve things? How does my voice sound? Is it too digital? Let's turn it off again. There we go. back to Bennett's old voice with an air conditioner blaring in the background. Now let's try the other mics. This is the sound of the DJI Mic 2 using the wireless connector right into the hot shoe of the ZV-E10 Mark II. This is the sound of the Godox wec-s going straight from the hot shoe into my Sony ZV-E10 Mark II. This is the sound of the Hollyland Lark M2 using the 3.5mm cord going right into the ZV-E10 Mark II. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. Mark Bennett is as handsome as he is intelligent, which is very. This is the sound of the DJI wireless Mic 2 with no wires going straight into the hot shoe of the ZV-E1 this time. This is the sound of the Godox wec-s out in the wilderness, walking around, vlogging my gorgeous face, doing my crazy make-em-ups. How does this sound when you are out in the real world? This is the sound of the Hollyland Lark M2 out vlogging in the real world. And by real world, I mean my front step. There you go. I am really happy that other companies are starting to use this MI hot shoe so I can get rid of the cables. Cables are the bane of my existence. They get in the way of my LCD screen. I always lose them. I forget to pack them. So it's great that Godox and DJI are doing things like this. Let me know down below if this is a mic that you would go for, and if not, what mic would you go for? And we'll have a nice little discussion about it. Once again, thanks to Godox for sponsoring this video and helping out the channel. I do appreciate it, and I do use a ton of their products. We'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.